Come in.
Hi.
Hi, how can I help you?
So, I'm still in high school, and I've been drinking a little bit recently, and very recently I blacked out, and I missed an important school play that I was supposed to be in, and I wouldn't be like super worried about it, but like my dad's an alcoholic, and like my mom and dad are like splitting up, so it's been like really tough on me. And I mean, I have been drinking to like forget about all the problems at home. My mom and dad don't know that I'm here, and I don't know if they should know or not, but I'm just worried because my dad's an alcoholic that like I could possibly be in some trouble. And more recently I just want to like drink more and more to like forget about everything. I've also been feeling super depressed, and like with my parents fighting at home and like splitting up, it doesn't help at all. And I'm not sure what I should do.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you're going through all that. Let me ask you, do your parents know you're here, or does your family know you're looking for help right now?
No one does. I was extra super embarrassed at school, so I didn't even tell any of my friends.
Okay. Have you ever sought treatment before, or asked for help before in a professional setting like this?
No, never before.
Okay. Let me start by asking you, what are you expecting to gain from this?
I guess in the future, I just don't want to turn out to like be an alcoholic like my dad. And like if I am, maybe I could like get some help early now, just like maybe to make sure that doesn't happen, or maybe like just to be happy. I'm not drink to forget about my problems when I'm only 16.
Okay. So that sounds good. Just full transparency, I'm a person in recovery as well. So I completely understand what you're going through and where you're coming from. I ended up entering a life of recovery at a fairly early age, so I'm glad you're reaching out now while you're still young before it has gotten to a more severe level. So let's address these things one at a time. Let's see here. So you mentioned you've been drinking rather heavily. Are you drinking every day?
No, not every day. Just like binge drinking.
Are you blacking out?
Sometimes.
Okay. So is your drinking been affecting your school at all? I know you mentioned your school play that you missed. How was that for you?
Well, also, I play sports, and you can't really like play sports when you're hungover or anything. Like, I can't go to practice because I'll just throw up and feel sick the whole time.
Right.
And when I missed a play, I felt so stupid because everybody kept coming up to me after, like, why weren't you at the play? Why weren't you at the play? And everybody's like, you were going to be so good, and now, like, that's horrible. And everybody was kind of like, oh, you can't handle drinking a little bit? And they were, like, making fun of me. So, like,
Right.
now I
understand.
I don't want to talk to anyone about it.
Okay. So do you think that your drinking and you mentioned, your depression and the emotions and the negative things you have going on at home and at school, do you think the drinking and the depression go together at all, or they play off each other?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so let me tell you, oftentimes they do, whether it's depression or anxiety or any kind of mental health. Substance abuse and mental health often go hand in hand. So I think the best way is to address these things one at a time. First and foremost, I think we need to get the drinking under control, because without, abstinence from any substances, there's not much of a counseling process that can take place that's going to be beneficial. That being said, alcohol is also a depressant, so they kind of feed off each other, and kind of how that works is the depression and those negative emotions and thoughts. What happens is negative emotions often lead to thoughts, and then thoughts lead to destructive behaviors, which would be your drinking and your binge drinking and blacking out and your school and family suffering and things like that. So if we can start to address those negative emotions and thoughts when they first come or when you first get them, we can start to block them and kind of identify them and then talk about how they're not justified, and then hopefully that will stop these self-destructive behaviors. So what do you like to do? What are you good at?
I like to journal. I like to write poetry and write. I mean, I have a big journal, and
Great.
I write all my feelings down there.
That's awesome. A perfect thing we could do to help with those negative emotions and the negative thoughts is do this for me. In the meantime, till the next time we see each other, when you go home, anytime you have a negative emotion or negative thought, write it down and write down what's going on in that very moment, what's going on in that day, what's going on in your life, and keep a journal of all the negative emotions and negative thoughts and bring them in and we can go over them together. That way we can try to identify common trends that are going on in your life, what's causing these emotions, what's going on, and we can try to combat them with positive things and hopefully, end the self-destructive behaviors.
If I have any positive thoughts, should I write them?
Absolutely.
I don't have many, but if I have some, I'll write them.
Absolutely, that can be helpful as well. Now, you mentioned your home life or your family life's a little rocky right now. What's going on with your parents? Do you want to talk about that?
So my parents have just been so my dad goes out all the time and he drinks and doesn't come home sometimes, and he's lazy and he doesn't work. He won't get a job, and so my mom has just had enough of him, and I feel really bad for my mom, and they're always screaming and fighting. So they're splitting up, and someone's gonna have to move out, I think, and I'm just worried because where am I gonna go? I'm only 16.
Right. I completely understand. That's a tough situation to be in. Now, you mentioned that your family didn't know you were here. Do you think that they would be supportive of you, with you asking for help or helping you?
My dad, no. I don't want my dad to know. Please don't tell my dad.
Okay.
But my mom would probably be supportive. My mom would be happy, I think, because she doesn't want me to turn out like my jerk dad.
Okay, so one thing we could do to help address the substance abuse, the drinking, is are you familiar with any kind of substance abuse treatment, like an outpatient program or an intensive IOP program?
I've heard of them before, but I've just heard of them.
Okay, so let's explore that a little bit. What those are they're exactly that. They're substance abuse, treatment programs. Oftentimes outpatient programs or intensive outpatient programs, they work with schedules, and since you're 16 and still in high school, they will work with your schedule to where you can go nightly or once a week or a couple of times a week, whatever you would like. But I think in order to get your substance abuse under control, you're going to need some additional help. I think the journaling and meeting with me one-on-one will be great, but I think being in a group setting with other people who are possibly struggling with the same thing you are can be extremely beneficial to you. However, you being 16, you most likely will need an adult with you. Do you think your mom would be open to helping you in that process if I can provide you with some referrals and resources?
Yeah, I think my mom would be helpful.
Okay, great. So let's set that up before you leave today. Let's continue with what you presented with. So the second thing we kind of want to address, I guess, would be your depression and kind of how you're feeling and how that plays off, your substance abuse. Like I said, the mental health and substance abuse kind of go hand in hand. So let's shift gears, and instead of focusing on kind of what you're having problems with, let's focus on what you're good at. What do you enjoy doing?
I mean, I like to play sports, and I like to act and do plays and stuff at school. I like to journal. I'm really good at writing songs.
Okay.
Specifically rap songs.
Great. Okay, so let's set a couple goals for you. What is one short-term goal you think you can come up with that we can try to accomplish by the next time we see each other? Let's say in about a week. What's one thing you can work on in addition to not drinking? What's one thing you could work on that we can talk about and hold each other accountable for till next week?
I can talk to my mom about going to helping me with treatment, or that I'm gonna try to go to treatment.
Okay, great. So that's one thing. Let's come up with a couple more. What about do you have any close friends that you feel confident enough with or close enough with to, I guess, confide in and talk to and try to build a supportive community around you?
Yeah, I have a friend. I also really like my guidance counselor at school.
Great. Okay. So the guidance counselor can be a great tool as well. So let's do this. Let's set these 3 small goals for the next week, and what I'm trying to do with these goals is kind of get your mind off all the negative in your life and start to build your confidence and give you that realization that you know you're in control of your own life and you're in control of this situation. So let's make the first goal, no drinking for the week. You are going to talk to your mom about the substance abuse treatment. Do me a favor, if you have access to internet at home, do some research online and try to educate yourself of what that may be like for you. We're going to start the journaling of any negative or positive thoughts you may have over the next week.
Journaling.
Okay. So
stop drinking for a week, talk to my parents, and journal all my negative thoughts.
And positive thoughts. Okay, great. Now, in addition to the substance abuse and your depression that we're addressing, you mentioned there's a lot of stuff going on at home, that your parents are fighting, your dad is an alcoholic, and things are rather rocky at home. They're splitting up, and you know what that looks like for your family and kind of where you're going to go. I know you said you don't have much support from your father, and you, quite frankly, don't really want it from him. What about your mother? Do you think, are you open to kind of bringing your mom in and letting her know what's going on? Aside from the substance abuse treatment you guys are setting up together, are you okay with letting her know that you're coming to see me? Maybe we can bring her in for a family session. And would that be something you're open to?
Yeah, I think my mom needs it too. Do you think my mom's gonna get like mad at me though?
I don't think so. And if she does, it's something we can tell her together. I don't want you to feel like you're alone in this. If you feel that your mother is gonna have a negative reaction to, you know, you asking for help, it's something we can definitely do together. We can break the news to her together and kind of explain what this process looks like. I think having me there to facilitate that conversation between you two would be a great idea.
Do you think I should even ask my dad or no?
Is he?
He's drinking like now. He's like, and he's like he currently drinks every day.
Okay, so let's not tell your dad right now. I don't want to tell you to keep anything from him, but as far as coming in for family sessions and you know going through counseling with your parents, let's stick to your mom for right now, since your dad seems like to be under the influence most of the time, and we'll go from there. Is there anything else that you want to talk to me about or bring up until we see each other for next week?
Not really. I mean, do you think I should try to keep playing sports?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give up on what you're doing in school.
Oh, wait, I forgot about something.
What's that?
Also, my grades have been really slipping, like really bad. Like, I'm failing. Like, I'm going to need summer school at this point.
Okay. So that's one thing you can also bring up to your guidance counselor. Tell them that you're struggling, you need help with your grades specifically. See if your school offers any kind of, you know, outside tutoring or in-house tutoring after hours. That's also something you bring up to your mom about. If you need some resources for outside tutoring, I can provide those for you as well. Is that something you could be interested in?
Yeah, I think I need it.
Okay, great. So let's do this. Let's set up our appointment for next week. Keep your goals for next week. Let's try our best and make sure you're journaling, and we'll go over next week and we'll look at that journal and see what thoughts came at what time and what was going on, you know, during that time. Because like I said, once we can identify kind of what's triggering these thoughts and what's triggering these negative emotions, we can begin to combat those and hopefully get you on the track to long-term recovery so you can live a long, healthy life.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I will see you next week.